A duplex in Hurricane has its roof severely damaged in fire. Relief from triple-digit heat may be on the way as an early monsoon season is predicted. And your local weather forecast coming up with highs, lows, and everything you need to know for the days ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica McLaughlin. A Tuesday afternoon fire severely damaged the roof of a duplex in Hurricane. Fortunately, all residents and first responders escaped without injury. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation. Our reporter Nick Fiala has more from the scene, including how quickly crews responded and what will happen next for those displaced.
First responders were dispatched to a Hurricane residence at the corner of 100 West and 300 North Streets Tuesday afternoon to battle a structure fire for 45 minutes. Hurricane Valley Fire Department Deputy Chief Cole Furley described the scene.
We're still investigating the cause of the fire, but at 1328, we were paged for a structure fire, a duplex, as you see behind us. On arrival, we had heavy smoke conditions coming from the attic, and the fire self-ventilated within a couple of minutes of us being on scene, as we were establishing a water supply and getting crews set up to go interior. The fire is extinguished. We're just working on a few hot spots up in the attic. That's about the extent right now. No injuries. Everyone made it out safely. They've talked to the homeowner, and we're getting a report from them, and all fire and EMS personnel are safe as well. We got an initial statement from the owner of the house, or the tenant rather, and so once we do our follow-up investigation where we get some more of those fine details, we'll figure out if they are without a place to stay, and then we'll make further arrangements from them.
Southern Utah may soon see relief from triple-digit heat and deepening drought as weather officials predict an early and active monsoon season that could bring much-needed moisture to the region. With more on what that could mean for flash flood risks and your 4th of July plans, we'll go to Maury Kessler.
Though southwest Utah has been baking under triple-digit heat and worsening drought, forecasters say relief may be on the way. The National Weather Service predicts above-average temperatures this summer, but also a higher chance for an early active monsoon season, possibly starting around the 4th of July.
There's more coming next week. 105 to 110, across Washington County at the lower elevations. But there is good news in our outlooks. And we are looking for increased monsoonal moisture as we head towards the 4th of July.
National Weather Service hydrologist Glenn Merrill says a dry winter and fast-warming soil may help trigger those storms, which often form in the mountains before moving into valleys like St. George. If storms do hit, they could bring much-needed rain, but also the risk of flash flooding, especially in areas like Zion National Park.
Monsoonal thunderstorms are the type of precipitation events that are the main contributors to flash flooding. So if you're going to be outdoors during monsoon season, I always say, check the forecast, educate yourself as much as possible on the potential for heavy rain, especially if you're, entering flash flood prone areas, and have a plan from there. The precipitation is needed, it's wanted, but at times that precipitation is so heavy that it can become quite dangerous in the right locations.
Now we'll take a look at your daily weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. In St. George, it's a hot 97 degrees right now. Tonight's low will dip to a comfortable 70 degrees. Tomorrow, expect sunny skies again with a high climbing to around 101 and a low near 70. Moving over to Mesquite, currently sitting at a very warm 99 degrees under clear skies. Tonight, the temperature will drop near 70. Tomorrow promises more sunshine, with highs reaching 104 and lows settling around 76 degrees. Finally, Cedar City starts the evening at 81 degrees. Later this evening, the low will hover near 55. Tomorrow brings pleasant and breezy conditions, with a daytime high of about 87 and an overnight low around 57. The Foresight Fire in Pine Valley has now scorched over 8,200 acres and remains at 0% containment. But officials say progress is being made thanks to nonstop efforts from more than 500 firefighters on the ground and in the air. For the latest on containment efforts, evacuation orders, and what crews are facing out there, we go to Jeff Richards.
More than 500 firefighters are now battling the Foresight Fire in the Pine Valley area of southern Utah, officials say. The lightning-caused blaze has now burned more than 8,200 acres as of Tuesday. Great Basin Incident Management Team 7 spokesperson Candy Stevenson spoke of the tireless dedication of the firefighting crews.
The local fire departments of Sheriff's Office and Emergency Management were here trying to get a hold on this. They were all affected by this too at the same time. They know people. Some of the firefighters had homes in here themselves, so they were highly involved in this. So it's a personal thing. And look at what is devastating for them that they lost any homes at all. But there are still amazing heroes that saved hundreds of homes.
Washington County Sheriff Sergeant Lucas Alfred also praised the firefighters' efforts.
Protecting this town is their top priority. I've seen a lot of comments on Facebook and everything else, on media's post, on the post from the sheriff's office and everything else, saying, it feels like they're not getting any work done because they're showing 0% containment. That is not true. They are working hard. These firefighters are working 14-hour shifts, morning and night. It is 24-hour coverage every single day. I see these guys coming off the lines. They are covered in soot and dirt and sweat and grime. They are working hard. 0% containment doesn't mean that they're keeping the protection away from the town.
Mandatory evacuation orders for the towns of Pine Valley and nearby Grass Valley remain in effect, while Pinto is still under warning.
Teens in Washington City are getting creative this week at the Expressions from the Soul workshop, where they'll transform blank sneakers into personal works of art. With just 30 spots available and some seriously cool kicks on the horizon, our reporter Jesse Bang takes us inside the workshop to meet the artist behind it all.
Artist Marty Lopez has partnered with the Washington City Arts Council to launch a fresh, teen-focused art workshop designed to spark creativity. The Expressions from the Soul workshop invites attendees to turn their own shoes into hand-painted works of art, with each unique design later featured in a public exhibit.
I like to allow for creative energy anywhere I go. So that means connecting with creative people. That means getting a positive vibe. That means just artistically thinking about things. And so that's what I decided to put on this pair of shoes.
Lopez has hosted the event in several states before bringing the idea to Washington City. She believes teens are often an underserved group in the arts community and looks forward to creating meaningful connections.
If you have a teenager and they're coming to the workshop and they can freely think of a goal or a dream, maybe their parent or their family member didn't even know they wanted to do that. And it's just a safe, positive way to have an outlet, a creative outlet. It's called artistic license, right?
Space for the event is limited to just 30 participants. For details on location, tickets, and how to join, see the full article.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to WeWinInjuryLaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.